happening, everyone? Hello, and welcome to the Review Roulette Podcast, the podcast that brings strangers together for a movie night. I'm your host, Laura. Join me as I bring two strangers together as we watch and review a randomly selected movie. Now let's spin that wheel and see what movie Lady Luck has picked for us tonight. Okay, looks like it landed on 15, which is... Oh, okay. So we're going to be watching 10 Cloverfield Lane today. I remember watching this in the movie theater. I really liked it. It was very unsettling to watch John Goodman as a really creepy guy when you're so used to him being like that Roseanne dad that you watched every day before The Simpsons came on after school. So that was really creepy because you're really not used to seeing him like that, and he does an amazing job. I also like the way the movie is like set up, like how everything they show something and then it pays off. It's so frustrating when you watch a movie. You're like, I bet that's going to lead to something, and then it never does. Okay, Nick, tell us what this movie is about and who's in it.
All right, this movie is 10 Cloverfield Lane. It came out in 2016, and the plot is: after getting in a car accident, a woman is held in a shelter by a man who claims that the outside world is affected by a widespread chemical attack. This movie is directed by Dan Trachtenberg. And other than 10 Cloverfield Lane, he is known for directing an episode of The Boys, an episode of Black Mirror, and most famously known for the Portal No Escape short. It is written by Josh Campbell. He's known for The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Behind Enemy Lines, and Blade 2. This movie stars John Goodman, who plays Howard. John Goodman is known for many things, like Argo, Flight, and The Roseanne Show. It also stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who plays Michelle. She is known for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and Birds of Prey. And lastly, it stars John Gallagher Jr., who plays Emmett. He is known for such movies as 10 Cloverfield Lane, Hush, and Jonah Hex.
Did you see Bradley Cooper was in this? Her husband or boyfriend is played by Bradley Cooper.
And weirdly, this also stars Bradley Cooper, who plays the voice of Ben. And of course, Bradley Cooper is known for A Star is Born, Silver Linings Playbook, and Rocket Raccoon, most importantly.
Thank you, Nick. And today our guests are Adam and Destiny.
How's it going?
All right. I recently finished my coffee and I'm here.
You're like, I'm awake, I'm ready to go. I guess it's
right.
Because it's 11, right, for you? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it's 11. The last few days, because of the holiday, I guess I've been kind of going to bed late and waking up kind of late. So I'm like,
You're like, yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter what time, it's still early. It's still early.
no one needs to know that I'm still in my pajamas.
Just think that you're in Pacific time with us, and it's early. Like the sun just came up, it's fine. Because this is your first time here. Essentially, what we're going to ask you is, because we're going to watch 10 Cloverfield Lane. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it yet. I've seen Cloverfield, and I wasn't a huge fan, which surprised a lot of people because they're like, "Oh, you like giant monsters? You must have liked Cloverfield." And I was like, I didn't like that movie, and I wanted the people to die the entire movie. I was like, when's the monster gonna show up and just crush everyone? Because I'm sick of these people.
I think I remember. I think I've only seen it once. Like, I've seen because this is the sequel to it. But yeah, I only saw that movie one time, and I was like, oh. And I always remember that the trailer was before Transformers, and all my friends were like, oh, is it Godzilla? It's like, no, it's not a Godzilla trailer. They're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not a Godzilla trailer, because it was very, like, ambiguous. I'm like, no, it's not. But I remember I saw this, because for the 10 Cloverfield Lane, I was so excited to see it, because it was like, my favorite YouTuber became the director. He was like Daniel Trachtenberg. So he was the director of this movie. And he used to have a YouTube channel called like the Totally Rad Show, and it was like a movie review channel. I was like, oh, he grew up. He moved on.
That's so cool.
And then I guess our listeners might not know who you are. So I met Destiny at G-Fest, like 3 years ago. Felt like a long time ago. But yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. And then I keep calling you Destiny. Did you want to be called Destiny, or do you want to be called Kaiju Hime?
Just call me by my real name. It's Destiny. I tell people I created this persona, this Kaiju Hime persona, because originally I was, my day job is I'm a user experience engineer, and then I wanted to on the side like just do what I always really liked doing, which is just like drawing and giant monsters and dinosaurs and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I'm going to create this persona to try to like separate my professional life and like my, um, secret identity kind of thing. but but nowadays it's just like I've become a lot more lax, and I'm like, whatever. If I'm wearing the wig and the horns, I'm like, touching me.
Like you spin around, you're like, I'm ready. Like, I'm here.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you still do both, or do you live off of art just now, or?
Oh no, I still do both. Right now, because of the whole pandemic situation, I'm able to kind of work from home. And um, earlier this year, a lot of like I was off contract, so I do contract UX work. So I was off contract, and then I had a couple of people who I was like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out because I'm not doing anything right now. And then my day job picked back up again, so I have been like working my day job and then working with some UX clients and then working on putting this book together and doing all of my other artwork on the side. And I'm like, I am not doing that again. It's been great. It's been a super productive year for me, but it's been a lot.
Our program lost 2 of our first episodes.
Cool.
I made poor Scrye sit through Bridesmaids for no reason other than a good time. But yeah, but it's gonna be a good
You're gonna have to
movie
come
this time.
back.
Yeah. And that was the one movie I had added in where I'm like, I'll just add this in. I'll add a romantic comedy. And it was the first one we picked up. It was like, I just died a little bit on the inside. It's like, no.
Oh man, well if you do a rom-com again, call me because I love.
We'll never get that 2 hours back. Oh, okay. I will remember that because, not better be. Oh.
Let me know about rom-coms because I have like a love-hate relationship with them. And I have this story about I was in college and I was taking a family studies class, and the teacher referenced The Notebook, and I had never seen it. Again, me, giant monsters, I've never seen The Notebook. And these girls in my classes turn around and they're like, "Are you even a girl? Are you even female? You've never seen The Notebook?" And so people would talk and talk and talk about this movie. So one year, my husband and I, we were like, okay, it's New Year's Eve. We have nothing to do. We're gonna drink. We're gonna drink a lot of wine, and we're gonna watch The Notebook.
Oh.
And I was like yelling at the television. I was like, "Please, this is 2 hours. I'm never gonna get back. This is garbage. I hate this torture."
Yeah, I remember I watched that, and that's after I worked at like a memory care unit at a nursing home. I'm like, that's not how dementia works. They can't fix it through love. And I was just like, it made me so mad. I'm like, oh yeah, I hate that movie.
Okay, great. Virtual high five.
Yeah, but like said Nicholas Sparks, like all those books. I'm like, you could cure everything with love, except none of it ever works because everybody always dies in those books. And I'm like, this is so bad.
And it's only ever like, ever like attractive white people too. Yeah. It's like it only works if you're like a young attractive white person.
And another attractive white person. They can never be anything else. But those two.
Nope.
And they're always like in their early 20s in high school. It's like that's the only time and only people that love happens for.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's so bad. Oh, and then I was gonna ask, is Girls Who Love Monsters, is there gonna be like another volume, or are you gonna open up more orders? So this might be relevant when this actually comes out next year.
Okay. So right now we're taking pre-orders, and all of the orders that covers just the first run of the printing. So as of right now, no, there won't be second orders, but I will at some point after this phase kind of post shops and stuff for the other contributors. So there, you may have the option after the fact to visit these other artists and get a copy or something from them. So I know for me, I'm going to have a few extra copies, and I'll probably bring them with me at conventions or have them on my online shop. Yeah, and I'm gonna be so happy, like that this project is just gonna be done and out there. It's been over a year of work for me, so.
I was like watching that Kickstarter from the beginning because I was like, my husband, he does more Kickstarter stuff than I do, and I was just like, so it gets bigger at the end, right? He's like, yeah, it'll get bigger at the end. I'm like, okay, so I just kept watching it. I was just like, it's neat. I want this book. I want this book to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, we were so close with the Kickstarter, and I knew that the goal was a little bit ambitious for a publishing project. You know, but it was kind of like I didn't want to like sacrifice any, like I'm like this is a fair price for everyone that's involved, and it was a big project, so.
I would say as close as it got shows that it wasn't like, because I've seen some Kickstarters where it's like, we want like $70,000. It's like, it's a video game, like, but we want $70,000. It's like, and then they don't get there. But because you guys got, is it 70 or 80%?
Yeah. So I think it was like 80% or something like that. We were really close. We were just a couple thousand off.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So Adam,
You lost the whole first episode?
I'm so sorry. I was gonna be
What?
like, so sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I almost cried because I was going back to the Riverside because it was supposed to be this amazing, dependable app, and then there was just like a crap ton of audio files from Nick, and then like you had two, and one of them is just you, just like this.
I almost cried when you said it didn't work. I'm like, bites me.
I'm so sorry. It was so bad. Yeah, I'll just send you the 1 minute clip of just you. It's just you sitting, and then it's like it has everybody's own file, so it's just a big screen of you just being like, "Yeah, this is great." So yeah, I lost that one, and I lost our entire second episode, but mainly because I couldn't have most of that content. I lost that one too. I only have like. Out of that one, I have a minute and a half clip of Andres. He's just sitting there, and then he laughs once, and then he goes and stops. And I'm like, I can't even like make a gag reel. It's just people sitting there staring at the computer. It's like, oh, this is horrible, horrible. And then my sister's one was just her with her half eyes closed, and staring at the monitor. I was just like, oh, I questioned my life choices at this point in time.
Oh no.
Well, Adam, you gotta tell us a little bit about. I know you've probably been on the show a couple times, but every time you have to tell us who you are.
Oh yeah, my name's Adam. I am founder, creator, whatever you want to call it. I run Scrye Productions on YouTube. I'm a composer, animator, storyteller, all the goodness. And you said earlier that I like conspiracy theories. I do find them interesting, I will say, but most of the stuff that I come up with, even though it sounds like a conspiracy, is purely through observation. So, like, I don't know what to say, but yeah, conspiracies are my thing.
Very interesting. It's a fun rabbit hole to go down. All of a sudden, you're just like, and then they're alien. You're like, no, it's fine.
Wow, you really want to go down that rabbit hole?
No,
We're about to watch what, 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yes.
Thank God! Like,
I take it you've seen it.
God, yes, I've seen it. Like I've seen it once for sure, the whole way through, and then like I'm a fan of the Cloverfield series, but that movie specifically is kind of like, in my opinion, the weakest one of all of them.
Yeah. Well,
but
it was made not to be one. It was made not to be
right.
one. And then at the end, they're like, "We'll just make it a Cloverfield movie." It's like it's weird that you could be like, you know what? We're gonna attack this like personal drama story, and then put monsters in it. Edromoto.
Sorry, let me turn that off. Apparently, everybody's waking up now because now I'm getting all these messages on Twitter and stuff. And, okay. But yeah. That's JJ for you though. Like, look what he did with the Star Wars movies. Doesn't it surprise you that he's like, oh yeah, like we're gonna make this movie, and then secretly, I'm not telling anybody, but this is gonna be a part of my franchise building experiment. So yeah,
I
but
forgot he was the
I mean, I still liked it though. Like John Goodman is awesome. I really like him as an actor.
But it was so weird because I think I'd never seen him do anything other than like the Roseanne dad or like Good Dad guy.
Really?
And then Destiny hasn't seen it, so we won't spoil it. But it was so weird to see him as anything other than like, well, then like John Goodman, and it was just like, oh my god, like be prepared, Destiny. He's like the villain. It's weird. It's awesome.
He's in a lot of movies. He's been popping up in a lot of movies. He's in Kong Skull Island, by the way. And,
oh yeah. Oh, that's right.
But he especially when he plays a bad guy. Oh man, whew. He does really good. You should check out some of the other movies. I think he's in Inglourious Bastards. Oh, what else? Yeah, the one with George Clooney, right? That's Inglourious Bastards.
No,
Brad Pitt is Inglourious Bastards.
yeah, Brad Pitt's Inglourious Bastards. I think you're thinking of Monument Men.
Is that the one where they're like it's like a World War II movie and they have to go into Germany to like steal stuff or whatever? Monument.
Yeah,
Men.
it's
Because
they're stealing back paintings that the Nazis stole from Jewish families during
Right. Yeah. That's the one because that's the one I saw on
That's a good one. I'll put that one on here too. I like that one. And then you have the movie ready, Nick?
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about it. Dude.
Okay. I don't think we did the movie, so you start it. So Nick, start the movie, and then he'll tell you because you love this movie more than I did. I mean, I like this movie.
Oh yeah, I do love this movie.
Okay, we're just going to go watch the movie now, and we'll be right back here for our review in part 2 in just a second. But just so you don't feel left out, here are some choice clips from us watching the movie.
This woman is stupid.
I don't know. I don't think I trust him.
No. Like,
Yeah.
like this is the problem with like obviously this scenario could only happen in America because only in America are people stupid enough not to critically think. Okay, I'm in a cement square room. I was chained up to the wall. This guy's telling me there was an attack. He stuck me with a needle. I passed out, like all this kind of stuff, and I'm gonna sit here and keep going. I need to leave. You need to let me go. Like obviously that's not in the cards. Shut the fuck up.
What is that? Howard.
Stay calm. We're okay.
Yeah.
What was that?
Quiet.
That sounds like helicopters.
And that's another thing too. Why the fuck do you ask the obvious? What was that? Bitch, we're all in a bunker. How the fuck am I supposed to know?
What's happening?
Let me use my old man sense.
Yeah, you dumb bitch. You should have stayed in the shelter with the crazy guy. Now you gotta deal with aliens.
Let's get started with part 2, shall we? But first, if you'd like to be a guest on the Review Roulette podcast, just sign up at our website. It's www.reviewroulettepod.com. That's www.reviewroulettepod.com.
Well, that was a thing.
Did you like it as somebody who hadn't seen it before?
I mean, it's probably not a movie that I would watch again. I think there are definitely parts of it that were good and interesting. I don't know. I sort of, like I was saying earlier, like it was like that movie Mother, and I feel like I wonder if it's around the same time that some of these thrillers came out that are just like very similar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There always seems to be like a trend in Hollywood where it's like, you know what, we should make like asteroid movies. Let's have 3 asteroid movies. In the same
Right.
We need more bunker movies in our lives.
More bunker movies.
Yeah.
It's narratives, man. I'm telling you. Let's go down that conspiracy rabbit hole. I'm telling you.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll do some grading. We'll remember that this is. I gotta remember this is a show and not just us hanging out watching a movie. So Adam, what would you rate like the story, like on a like 1 to 5, like? Yeah, and then like probably don't throw in that you have seen the other two, like just a movie by itself.
Yeah, like just on its own, as a movie on its own, I would probably give it a 6, probably
So
out of a 10.
5, you would give it a 6.
Oh, I didn't hear you say out of 5. I'm sorry. I'd probably give it like. I'd probably give it a solid 3 out of 5.
Okay. That sounds good. Yeah, I still wonder, like, it's just weird to think that they made a movie and they're like, we should just tack this onto another franchise. But it's like, I wonder if that would have, like, if it would have ended differently. Or I kind of wanted to have, like, a weird, like, Hitchcock, like, H.P. Lovecraft ending where, like, he was right, she walks outside, she dies. Like, I don't know if, like, that would make it better. But, yeah.
Well, they touched on everything, right? Like, they said, they showed the spaceship pouring that green gas or whatever all over the place, and there were aliens, so like he wasn't.
Right. So what makes it a 3 and not like this is the best story? Like, do you feel like not judging the movie itself, but like do you feel like there's plot holes in the story that doesn't make it like a 5?
No, I feel like the story was a little too unrealistic. I get it's a movie, and I get. I get it. I know that there's supposed to be. That's not the part I'm talking about. The realistic part that I'm talking about is they don't give people enough credit. So like when that one scene where the thing's going over the bunker, whatever, and it shakes the whole bunker, and the guy's like, "It's okay, we're fine." He goes, "What was that?" Nobody's gonna fucking ask that question when you're in a bunker and you can't see outside. How the hell are they supposed to know? Why would you? Like, nobody does that, right? I'm pretty sure everybody that watched this movie can like pick up on context clues and visual cues and stuff like that to like comprehend what's going on in a given situation. So why would you write that into the script? That's what I mean. It's not realistic. Like they did pretty good. This movie could have made a 4, possibly even a 5 if they wouldn't have done such a poor job with the script.
I was almost wondering if they should have got more like, is it Stockholm? Is this like Stockholm syndrome where like they relate more to their captor? Because it's like that's usually what happens with the people. Like we have cases of people who were taken by people and held captive by them, and usually they start like identifying with them more. Like I wish they would have had more stuff like that in there where she's like, oh yeah, like buys into it more. Like she always seems like she's always very much like, I need to get away. Like we have like, what is it, Elizabeth Smart and like the ones that ran out of the bunker where they're just like, yeah, after a while you just kind of, you get with the program, which is what we were thinking she should have done. But it's like, yeah, we have examples of people who have experienced this, but without aliens. But I feel like if they would have went more in that route, it would have been more believable, where it's just like, you want her to not fall into believing him. And then she does, and you're like, oh, you could get out of that. It's like, oh. So I think, that's why I think I would put that, like at a 3, 2. What do you think, Destiny? Where would you put it? From 1 to 5? Like 7.
right before Adam scoring, I was thinking 3. So I think I'm also on the 3 wagon. I think that the story is fine. It's not unique. But I'm not biased that I mean like I could see where it was going. But it's still, I feel like it was executed well. That it was a solid thriller movie. So if you were in the mood to watch a psychological thriller with a sprinkling of sci-fi at the end, then yeah, it's decent. Yeah.
And then I guess, well, there's only 3 characters. Would you guys like the characters? We'll do that as a ranking. Like it's
I think
hard seeing John Goodman not being the dad from Roseanne. That's my only
I think the actors did fine. Like I had no problem with any of the performances in this movie.
Agreed. I think, and also like I think John Goodman is like a very underrated actor. Because he always surprises me and like everything that he's in. Like I'll be like, oh, John Goodman's in this movie, and then I'll be like, dang, he's actually really good.
He killed it.
Yeah.
I kind of stopped remembering. Like, there's certain actors where it's like Ben Affleck's one, where it's like when I saw him as Batman, I'm like, that's just Ben Affleck playing. Like, I can never not see Ben Affleck. Which you would think John Goodman me out. I forgot that he was the dad from Roseanne for a while. Like when he's at the box dancing, I was just like, oh, like you want him just to melt in a vat of acid. Yeah, no, don't do that. That's gross. Yeah, Nick's dancing. I was just like, so yeah, and then the girl does good. Like, I feel like I don't think I would have done the same thing that she did in her situation, but but then that's hard to. Well, then that's her own character, but it's like I feel like she's the one I'm supposed to relate to, and I'm more like I'm just really creeped out by John Goodman.
I feel like I understand why that girl and her boyfriend are broken up now.
It was all
She's
her.
dumb.
We were like, we really just had an argument about like butter knives, and you're gone. You just flew out the door.
And you just left?
Oh. So I like the characters better than I'll put them at 4, just because John Good, and it's so hard because there's only 4, or like
The characters or the acting?
Characters and like character development, which acting could play into that because it's like if you have an actor not doing a good job with a character, that hurts the character.
Yeah, like Robert Downey Jr. did with Iron Man. What the hell? No, I'm just kidding.
Sometimes he's another one where it's just like I just gotta see him. Like there's so many actors where you just it's like a fourth wall where it's like you're playing Iron Man, which I guess is cool for you that you get to do that, but like yeah. That's why I think I put this one at 4 because I'm like John Goodman transcended Roseanne Dad.
Yeah.
Right?
I always see him as Pacha.
Where's that one from?
As who?
Emperor's New Groove.
Oh,
Right, he played nice guy Pacha.
I remember I saw that in the movie theater. Like that movie.
Oh, that's right. He
I
was
love
in
that
that
movie.
movie. Oh my god, I've actually only heard about it and seen clips. I've never actually sat down and watched the
It's
Emperor's
good.
New Groove.
Alright,
I'm
after this, go watch that movie.
I'm kind of an anti-Disney person now after they ruined my childhood with their Star Wars crap.
Then just watch Emperor's New Groove, and you're like, this is when they were good.
Yeah.
This is back in the day. So out of 5 for characters.
Yeah.
This.
Oh. I'm gonna go with 3 again. I mean,
That's solid. That's passable.
I mean, 1 point for each character.
I'll go with a 4, probably.
Oh.
4 out of 5 on this one.
I think our rating for this movie is gonna be like a solid C.
A solid C. I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
It's a movie.
it is. Yeah, I remember.
And you know, like they.
She didn't see that.
Oh, this thing. I guess I'm
Oh, okay.
I commented it before, and I think this really plays a big role in it. But like the setting, the stage, like where they were at, it was very low budget. Everything about that was low budget.
Mhm.
It's like that bunker was decked out with things that people brought from their own homes.
Yeah.
You know?
It was. Someone's like, I got this puzzle that maybe we can play in one of the scenes.
Yeah, like they brought their own Monopoly board game in for them to use as a prop.
But it was just a box. They're like, I have the box, but I don't have any of the pieces.
It'd be like my family, and every time they open the box, there's just like the writing down of the last time you played because nobody remembers like that we started every year. Like every year at Christmas, we're like, we should play Monopoly, and then we open it, it's like, this is where Lora was. It was just like, oh, we did this last year and we didn't finish. So I don't know if I've ever finished a game of Monopoly in my life. And then we got the Godzilla Monopoly, and me and Nick were playing, and then we found out we both played completely different. And we're like, I thought there was only one way to play Monopoly. He's like, no, you do this for everything. It was like, oh, Monopoly is different for everybody.
I don't know if there's anyone who like actually knows how to play Monopoly.
The Parker brothers went to the grave, like, no, we don't know what community chest happens there. Like, okay.
There's this thing. Actually, hang on. Before I hang on.
Well, did you have fun, Destiny?
I did.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's always fun. I like riffing on movies a lot. So
So the Monopoly guy, describe what he looks like real quick. I just want to
Is this one of
see.
those things where he doesn't have a monocle
Oh, is this like the what do they call it? The
Mandela effect?
yes,
Yeah.
the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
I think it's like everyone pictures him with a monocle, but he doesn't actually have a monocle.
Doesn't have one.
He
Yeah.
has like a mustache and he's bald, I think.
Actually, we don't ever see that either because he's always wearing a top hat.
Oh!
He could have a whole luxurious hair and we wouldn't even. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. Like on the actual box, he's wearing a top hat. He never has a he doesn't have the eye. What did you call it?
Monocle?
Monocle? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, because it's not a glass. This isn't a bifocal.
Yeah.
It's a monocle.
Oh,
I like how
bifocal, mono,
Yeah.
monofocal.
I just realized that we're
That's it.
recording the planter's peanut guy and combining him with the monopoly guy.
Now that's the one that does have the
He
monocle.
does have the monocle.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why people got it mixed up. And I was arguing the Mandela. I always argue the Mandela effect. A lot of people like to try to say that that's a whole conspiracy. Well, no, like people. I've had conversations before, and it blows my mind. And sometimes I think I'm crazy, but then I realize it's the rest of the world that's crazy. Like I'll get into a conversation.
He tells
And
himself that every morning he wakes up.
Yeah, like I wake up and I'm like, oh, am I crazy? Oh no, it's the rest of the world.
Still
Okay.
everywhere else.
But like no, I'll say something or I'll have a conversation with somebody and they'll like say that I said something else, or they'll like do you ever have conversations with people where like you talk to them and you say something but they interpret it differently in their brain, and then when they repeat what you said back, it's not at all exactly what you said.
Yeah, that's why the new telephone's fun, because it's like, wait, what? No, that's not.
It's like it's like you say like I don't eat spaghetti. And then someone interprets that as, oh, you hate spaghetti. I never said I hated spaghetti. I just don't eat it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just like
It's interesting how people are sometimes, where I always psychoanalyze. It's like it's part of my job, right? Because I'm a UX engineer, so I have to think about how people think and why people think certain ways and why they react to certain things. And it all comes down to like psychology and that like passive and active listening. So a lot of times when we're speaking, people are just passively listening, and when you say something, they're kind of filling in the holes.
Yeah. It's kind of like that one thing that they did where if you write, I can't remember, it was a thing that Harvard put out. They put out this entire like paragraph worth of stuff, and every word was misspelled except for the first letter and the last letter of every word. And as long as you had those, you could make out the word, even if it was misspelled or whatever, and you could literally read the whole thing. And so it's like, that's something like I can relate to. I think about what people are thinking about, how they're going to put stuff together, all that kind of stuff, the psychology behind making videos, entertainment, movies, whatever.
It kind of reminds me of like Twitter, where people like misinterpret tone.
Oh, yeah.
Like how a lot of like conversations really just tone. You're picking up like, oh, this person's kind of mad, so you get like the first part, and like, oh, they're probably mad. But then like when you read tweets, it's just you reading it in your head. So you're like, I'm going to decide that this person's pissy today, and you're like, oh, they must be mad. It's like, oh, it's like that's why I don't like Twitter. But yeah.
That's why I hate Twitter, though. You can never really tell how someone's like. If you type out something, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're mad. Like if you say like,
or like when people are joking and you could tell that person's joking, and then there's the person below like, well, actually, it's like I'm pretty sure that person was joking.
yeah, right, but other people can't, and so like that makes you wonder, like
are they?
Do we need to start framing stuff a certain way so people understand that it's a joke, because you can't tell emotion from text?
Yeah. So I've seen that sometimes when people are like, oh, and they're like, well, obviously you don't understand. It's like, I don't think you understand. And then it's just like, I just watch this stuff go back and forth, and I'm like, oh my god, this is falling apart. Oh yeah. Oh. So because Scrye already has a movie, Destiny. Is there a movie you want to put in to make other people watch when they ever come back?
Oh, is there a movie I want to put in and make other people watch?
Yeah. Or your favorite movie? I'll frame it like that, so you're not just like.
Don't say Bridesmaids.
Yeah. No.
My favorite movie is Dragonheart.
That's already.
Is that already in there?
I'll put your name underneath of it. But
Oh, wait, I can pick another one because I like lots of movies. Let's see. Speed Racer.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. We'll do Speed Racer.
The 2009?
I think that's the only Speed Racer movie. Unless they made one like back in the 60s or 70s, I don't know.
I don't think so.
Movie, right? Like, you guys had fun. And thanks for coming, Scrye. I'm just gonna call you all the time.
This has been the Review Roulette Podcast. A special thanks goes out to our guests, Adam and Destiny, for coming on and watching 10 Cloverfield Lane with us today. If you'd like to be a guest just like them, just come to our website. It's www.reviewroulettepod.com and sign up there. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's the Review Roulette Podcast. Thanks. Bye.